The ad appeared everywhere: social media feeds, banner ads, even before YouTube videos. Find your true soulmate with Eaterlink. The tagline promised perfect matches using advanced emotional algorithms. Olivia swiped past it a dozen times before finally giving in. Why not? After all, her last relationship had crumbled, and the idea of a genuine connection was tempting. The app required her birth date, time, and even her mother's maiden name. Oddly personal, but Olivia assumed it was part of their intricate matchmaking algorithm. Within moments, the screen glowed with a profile. Ethan Gray, 29, matched 99%. His picture was warm, dark eyes, tousled hair, and a quiet smile. Olivia swiped through his profile. Everything seemed perfectly aligned with her interests: hiking, horror films, and even their shared love of obscure jazz records. They started chatting that evening. His messages were thoughtful, almost poetic. Olivia found herself captivated. Over the next few weeks, their bond deepened. Late-night calls, inside jokes. She felt like she had known Ethan for years. One evening, Ethan asked to video chat. Olivia's heart raced as she accepted the call. The screen flickered, and Ethan appeared, smiling yet strangely pale. "Hey," he said softly. His voice had an eerie distortion, like a faint echo. "You okay?" Olivia asked. I need to tell you something," Ethan murmured. I shouldn't even be here." "What do you mean?" The screen flickered again. For a split second, Olivia saw a different image. Ethan's face, slack and bloodied, his skin waxen gray. The call cut off abruptly. Curious and unsettled, Olivia dug deeper. Searching Ethan's name online revealed nothing until she added accident. Her heart sank. Ethan Gray died in a multi-car pileup on May 14th, exactly 1 year ago. Shaking, Olivia returned to Eaterlink. She scrolled through comments on the app's social media page, at first all glowing reviews. But the further she scrolled, the more unsettling things became. Posts spoke of matches growing distant, becoming ill, or disappearing entirely. One comment stood out: "They're not real, they're trapped." The next night, Olivia received a message from Ethan. "Please, help me." She froze. The message was followed by an address, a derelict house on the edge of town. Against her better judgment, Olivia went. The house loomed dark and silent. Its windows were boarded, and a faint stench of rot lingered in the air. As Olivia stepped inside, the air turned icy cold. The living room was cluttered with old photos, faded images of people smiling. But all their faces were blurred. On a nearby table, she spotted a phone, its screen flashing. It was logged into Eaterlink. Matched Olivia Monroe, 99%. A floorboard creaked upstairs. "Ethan?" she whispered, clutching her phone's flashlight. A shadow moved in the hallway. Olivia climbed the steps slowly. At the end of the corridor, a door stood ajar. She nudged it open and froze. In the room stood a figure, Ethan, pale and gaunt. His eyes glistened with unnatural darkness, and blood stained his clothes. "You shouldn't have come," he rasped. His voice was hollow. "It's hungry." "What's hungry?" Olivia stammered. A wet breath rasped from the shadows behind her. Turning slowly, Olivia saw it, a grotesque figure stitched from twisted faces, all warped, anguished, and decaying. Their lips writhed in silent screams as the mass reached toward her. "It feeds on the lonely," Ethan croaked. "It tricks them, traps them. I tried to warn you." The mass surged forward. Olivia bolted past Ethan, racing down the stairs. The thing followed, dragging itself down the hallway, distorted voices whispering her name. "Olivia, She lunged out the door just as icy fingers grazed her back. Days later, Olivia deleted Eaterlink, but nightmares persisted. Her phone would buzz with missed calls from Ethan, despite his profile being long gone. One morning, she woke to a message on her lock screen. "You can't run forever." The date below chilled her to the bone. May 14th. Desperate for answers, Olivia visited a local historian. The woman's face darkened when Olivia mentioned Eaterlink. "That house you went to?" the historian said gravely. "There was a fire there years ago. 5 people died, all of them using that app, or what existed before it." "Before it?" Olivia asked. "The app was rebranded, but the code was never changed. It's been calling them back." The historian handed her a crumpled page torn from a book, a sigil scrawled in ink. "Go back. Burn this in that house before May 14th, or you won't make it." Olivia returned to the decaying house the next evening. The air inside felt heavier, as if the walls themselves were watching. As she reached the living room, whispers swirled around her. Ethan's voice stood out. "Olivia, please." She knelt on the floor, striking a match. The paper caught, flames licking the sigil's edges. The whispering turned to shrieks, and the air grew blisteringly hot. The walls themselves seemed to ripple as faces pressed outward, crying, pleading. The twisted mass of bodies emerged from the dark, writhing in agony. "Please, end this," Ethan's voice murmured one last time. The sigil turned to ash. The mass of faces twisted in a final pained expression before disintegrating into dust. The next morning, Olivia awoke feeling lighter. Eaterlink was gone from the App Store. The calls stopped. But Ethan's face lingered in her dreams, peaceful yet distant, like a soul finally set free.